She told the world she could diagnose hundreds of diseases, from cancer to diabetes, with a single drop of blood. The company was called Theranos, and at its peak, it was valued at over $9 billion. This is Elizabeth Holmes, a Stanford University dropout who modeled herself on her idol, Steve Jobs, right down to the signature black turtleneck. In 2003, at just 19 years old, she launched a company with a promise so profound it would change healthcare forever. Her pitch was irresistible: a small, sleek box that could run complex tests cheaply and instantly from a pinprick of blood taken from your finger. No more big needles. No more anxious waits for lab results. It was the stuff of science fiction. And in Silicon Valley, selling the future is the most valuable commodity there is. Investors couldn't get enough. Titans of industry, from Larry Ellison to Rupert Murdoch, poured in hundreds of millions, believing they were backing the next Apple. She stacked her board with political heavyweights, former Secretaries of State George Shultz and Henry Kissinger. These weren't tech guys, they were true believers. But as Theranos prepared to go nationwide with huge deals at Walgreens and Safeway, a critical question remained unanswered inside the company's secretive labs. Did the machine actually work? Behind the curtain, a culture of paranoia and extreme secrecy took hold. Employees were tracked, intimidated, and buried under ironclad NDAs.
Because the truth was, their miracle box, the Edison, couldn't perform the tests. So they cheated.
Instead of using their own technology, they were secretly using standard off-the-shelf machines from their competitors, like Siemens. They would dilute the tiny finger prick samples to run them on the old tech, leading to wildly inaccurate results for real patients.
The human cost was mounting. When chief scientist Ian Gibbons, who knew the technology was a fraud, was subpoenaed to testify, he took his own life. But what came next would change everything. The first crack in the wall came from an unlikely place: the grandson of one of her own board members. Tyler Schultz, working at Theranos, saw the deception firsthand. He tried to warn his grandfather, George Schultz, but was dismissed, so he quit. And he risked everything to talk to one man: investigative reporter John Carreyrou at the Wall Street Journal. Holmes found out. She unleashed David Boies, one of the most feared lawyers in America, to intimidate and silence the whistleblowers and the paper. She went on a media blitz, denying everything. She looked the world in the eye and lied. But Carreyrou wouldn't back down. And on October 15, 2015, the story dropped. The headline was devastating. The story laid the fraud bare. The $9 billion empire began to crumble overnight. Regulators raided the labs. Walgreens sued. The SEC launched an investigation. The game was up. The company that was once worth more than Uber was now officially valued at zero. In June 2018, the final chapter began. Elizabeth Holmes wasn't a CEO anymore. She was a defendant. She was arrested by federal agents, charged with massive fraud, and faced decades in prison. So how did she fool so many powerful people for so long? The uncomfortable truth is that she wasn't really selling a technology. The greatest empires are built on powerful stories, but the most spectacular collapses happen when those stories are lies. To see more companies that were built and broken, subscribe.